What qualities do you look out for when choosing people who would work with you?
Well, you must know that I don't choose the people that work for us. I used to choose the.
What qualities did you used to look for?
Well, okay. I think there's something that's ingrained in the system now. That when we want to hire people, we are looking for people who are very smart. Very, very smart. In fact, if they're smarter than those of us who started the business, the better. We are not competing with anybody. They are coming to work with us. All right? So we try to look for the best people. Character is very important to us. We do a lot of check on character because that's very, very important to us. We look for people who are passionate about what we're doing. If you are not passionate about this business, then quite frankly, don't let us waste each other's time. Passion is very critical for us. We are very, very interested in people who are very passionate. And we are very, very interested in people who will just keep living this dream. When people apply for jobs here, it's not about who you know. We are just interested in the 20 best people that we can find, based on the kind of criteria that I've drawn for you.
You are best known to young people. For many young people, you are best known for a role as CEO of the reality show, The Apprentice. The young people must have learned a lot from you, but what did you learn from your time working on that series?
Very interesting. You know, when I first fired the first 6 set of people, or there about 6 or 8, don't forget about 18 of them started, I hosted them to a party in my house. And they were seeing the other side of me. And the kind of comments they passed, I had to say to myself, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know, it was some kind of a self-discovery. Oh, you know, came across as being too hard. Oh, he came across as being unfriendly. And those things were not real about me. They were complete opposite about me. And then when we finished the entire program, I hosted the whole load of them to a very nice evening in my village. I took all of them to Jebu. And we had so much fun. And then they said, oh, Mr. Shobanjo, we didn't know this, we didn't know that. So I learned from them. But subsequently, the one that's of interest to you, after they had left, almost all of those apprentices are today self-employed. They are employing people. Even from outside Nigeria, those of them who are foreigners, they make contact with me. They will have need for certain things, and I'll try and oblige, you know. And I'm so happy that because the program was about entrepreneurship, so that actually gave me joy. But as I said, it also enabled me to learn a couple of things about myself.
What was it you learned about yourself?
Well, for example, sometimes, maybe because you're the boss, you want to come across as being hard or strong. That doesn't do you any favor at all, because you're showing them a side which is not really you, and it probably can turn them off. So you don't need that, because if your role as a leader is actually to mentor people, you need to create that environment that will make them assess you. All right? Whereas, in fact, as I said, you may have a very stern-looking face or whatever. I was reading an interview by Kabisi about his 10th coronation. And he was talking about his boss, the late Agmo, and our current president. And he said something to the extent that, oh, they both may have these stern-looking faces, but that deep inside, they're very soft. But how do you know that they're soft? When the face itself, turns you off. So such a minor little point for me was something that I learned about in The Apprentice, that well, maybe if you had not been as hard as you were on these kids, maybe they would have seen a totally different you. In fact, the real you. All right? Because at the end of the day, you want people to see you for the real you. So for me, these are little points. And the fact that sometimes we need to be a little bit more patient, because today's younger generation, they are not cowed by the way that we used to be cowed in those days about our bosses. It's like they don't care, if you don't mind me saying so. So even when you feel like you want to play toffee, the kids are like, what's wrong with him, So, I mean, they were two little points that I learned in that I needed to be a bit more patient. And I also learned in The Apprentice, and that's what Jimmy always preaches, that, hey, we need to improve our listening skills. You know, we just need to create time and listen to people when they talk. Because you think you know what he wants to ask anyway. Let me quickly answer the question. But he could detour. So I think it's good to be a bit more patient, to listen better. And I must tell you, I've improved on my listening skills since Apprentice as well.
So what is your recipe for success?
Hard work. Hard work, integrity, professionalism. I think that integrity, hard work, being passionate about what you do, I can't find any substitutes for those as recipes for success. I don't know anybody that's been successful that hasn't imbibed those three points.
What does financial freedom mean to you, and how does one attain that state?
Not to be unencumbered. Don't go beyond your limits. Just learn to manage your own little resources. If I use myself as an example, I have some of the wealthiest, few very wealthy friends, let me put it that way. I don't benchmark what I do with what they do. So, and we are the best of friends. People need to have self-contentment. That is the critical thing. You know, if you have a friend who has a private jet and then you say you want to go and buy a private jet, you're going to kill yourself in the process. You understand what I'm saying? I think financial freedom for me is very critical. As I said, it's not to be encumbered. Maybe again my upbringing, maybe because of where I come from, I'm an Ijebu man. We are very prudent. Ijebus are not very prudent, so we know how to manage our little resources, and you know, we are very contented with that.
It is important to build institutions, but how important is it to build people?
Oh, very critical. Oh my God, very critical. I think in this group, you don't want to know how much you spend on manpower development. But it's huge, substantial. Every employee in this company must be trained. And I mean every. It's all scheduled out. That's the task of our HR unit. We ensure and that we keep on developing our people. And these people are trained here in some of the best management schools here. We send some outside of this country. We send people to our partner companies to go and do internship. We spend a lot of money. We pay a price for that, but we never stop. In fact, that is the secret of our success. We just keep training people and training. If we had made the mistake of getting discouraged by refusing to train because we lose personnel, we would have been dead by now. But it doesn't stop us. If anything, it motivates us to train, but train to retain, hopefully. But we know that at the end of the day, because nobody trains as much as we do in our business. And I'm not thumbing my chest here. It's a known fact in the industry anyway. That's the kernel of our success, the ability to train people.
Mr. Biodun Shobanjo, we thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
And we thank you for watching. Do join us next time when this program returns, but between now and then, let's continue this conversation online at channelstv.com, and do tweet me your thoughts at ModellySY. I want to know what you think of my conversation with Mr. Biodun Shobanjo. I ask that you join us again next time, and I look forward to seeing you then.